Are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle, and I'm not joined today by Tim. I'm joined by Houston's finest, LJ, for an NFL slate. Week number 17. We got a full slate. Bunch of stuff to go over, bunch of clinching situations today that we have, and things along those lines. Things get tricky this time of year in the NFL. So definitely is going to be interesting for today. But before we get into today's games, before we get into today's slate, first of all, how are you doing, LJ? How's your New Year's? And how was yesterday?
Hey, doing great, man. Happy New Year to you. Like I talked earlier, we just stayed in, didn't do too much last night. Didn't want to be too reckless. But far as winning, yes, I had a very profitable day yesterday. Very happy. Accounts looking good, so I'm ready to fire off today, man. Let's go.
Awesome. Yeah. Yesterday overall was a good day. I think college basketball about split even. I finished up about a quarter unit in hockey, and college football is really what had me in the green yesterday. TCU plus the points, the money line was nice, and Ohio State plus the 7, their team total and the full game would have been really nice if I could have gotten that money line, but it is what it is. We're just gonna move on from that shank of a kick, but it is what it is. Overall, yesterday finished up about 2 units out of all my plays, so not going to go too in depth for that because we're gonna get right into today's slate, and we're gonna kick it on off here with kind of an interesting matchup here. Big line movement since what it was in the look ahead line last week, when this line was a 7. And now it's down to a 3.5. Buccaneers 3.5 point favorites in this game with a total of 40.5 in this one here. I did index these games, and I am more looking at where the market's moving these last couple weeks, because indexes are great, but they only tell you so much when some players are not playing and motivational and things along those lines. So this is one of the trickier times for football for me. But I had this game at Bucks minus 3.5. So if this was a 7, I'd be on the Panthers still. Tim and I put this up on the site last week at a 7 for the Panthers. But if this was a 2.5, 3, I'd be on the Buccaneers. This being on at a 3.5 was enough to keep me off the side in this one. Let's refresh my page for market movements here so we can get an idea of how money has come in on this game. Seeing 51% of the tickets are on the Carolina Panthers, but 64% of the cash is on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So the bigger bets are coming in on Tampa Bay in this game. Looking at the total, 55% of the tickets are on the over, 43% of the cash is on the over. So a little bit bigger money coming on the under in this game. It's gone from 42 down to 40.5. It was a 40 at one point where I got this game. I took the under in this spot. Tom Brady and this Buccaneers offense has struggled at times this year. They're 4-11 to the under this year. So this is definitely a team that unders have been really good betting them. And at the end of the day, I don't know if I trust Tampa Bay to put up enough points to cover a number like this, even though it's only 3 and a hook. It's over that field goal, which I think could be tough for this offense to cover. They haven't covered in 5 straight weeks. They're 1-8-1 in their last 10. But when we look at the total, they have gone over in 2 of their last 3 games, but they've only gone over in 3 of their last 10. So this is a Tampa Bay offense that only puts up 17.7 points per game, but only gives up 20.3. So this is a defense that plays pretty solid. I would maybe look toward the Carolina team total under if I would want to back the Buccaneers in any way, because I don't want to lay 3 and a hook, but 17.5. I think it's kind of an interesting number here for the Carolina Panthers team total. So I'm going to kind of lean towards that team total under for the Panthers, but I'm going to make the play on the under in this game. I got under 40 in this one.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I got under 40.5 earlier in the week. So once I did the numbers, it just Carolina's averaging 20 points in their last 3 road games. Tampa Bay's averaging 17 of their last 3 home games. So that puts you at a 37. So I'm very comfortable with that under. As far as the both teams matching up. I mean, you said the numbers with Tampa Bay. 5-1 ATS as a home fave, 3-11 ATS, 1-6-1 at home ATS, 5 losses in a row against the spread. So the under is pretty much the best play that I could feel to be safe on. I see a lot of punting in this game. Tampa Bay can't run the ball. They only average 17 rush attempts at home, which is dead last. So a lot of passing for Brady. So I'm on Brady's pass attempts over 41.5. I believe his arm is going to be out there slinging it. And I wouldn't be mad at a Godwin receptions as well, because that's sort of his go-to target. He likes to key on him in check downs, situations, third downs like that. So Chris Godwin should be a play too today. But as far as my play, I'm with you, under 40.5. Carolina is 8-3 ATS as a dog. So I did take the +3 as a small sprinkle, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tampa Bay wins this game, to be honest with you, because I don't think the NFL wants to see Tom Brady out of the playoffs. So that's just my conspiracy thought. It's right there. So I will lean towards Tampa Bay with the victory, but I definitely with you on the under.
Yeah, there's no way the NFL can keep their precious Tom Brady out of the playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm. No, I don't see it happening. He's too much of a money draw. And he's probably done this year. If not, he finds a situation with, the Raiders or the 49ers, all the rumors and speculations. But
yeah,
we'll see. But I think they'll allow Tampa Bay to get this one over.
Yeah, and knowing Tom Brady, I think if he does make the playoffs, he's going to beat Dallas or something like that. Like they'll find a way to win that first round matchup.
Yeah. Completely.
We'll move into the next game here, which is kind of an interesting one. We do have some playoff implications in this game. Washington Commanders, they're currently in that 7th seed in the NFC. They're only -1 at home, which is kind of interesting there. Mm-hmm. It is -1, -124 though on Bet Online, -130 for the money line. So it's really feels like a -2 is kind of where this line should be, or where this line is juiced to be. With a total of 41 in this game. I had this game at a pick'em, so I immediately saw some line value with Cleveland in this game. The original line value was not enough for me to move on Cleveland, but then when I saw the way the markets moved in this game, definitely pointed me towards the Browns in this one. Because when we look at this game, number one, I'm not sold on the Commanders. They had a good couple weeks, but who's going to be at quarterback for them is a big question mark for them. Because they pulled Heineke last week for Carson Wentz, and if it's Carson Wentz, I think Cleveland runs away with this game.
Yeah, they've confirmed it. He's the starter.
Carson Wentz. Oh, yes. I love my Cleveland bet even more. I'm on the Cleveland Browns +110 in this game. 63% of the tickets are on the Commanders, but 57% of the cash is on the Browns in this game. This line's gone from -2 to -1. So whether it's them responding to Carson Wentz being put in instead of Tyler Heineke, I think Heineke is the better option. But a lot of the bigger bets, the sharper money is coming in on the Cleveland Browns, and I 100% agree with them here. I got +110 with Cleveland in this spot. I don't think the Commanders are a playoff caliber team. I think that when it all comes down to it, we're probably going to see a Sunday night football game between Detroit and Green Bay next week for that 7 spot, which you know how much the NFL would love to have to be able to flex 2 NFC North teams. So I definitely really like the Cleveland Browns in this game. When we look at the total, 43% of the tickets and 41% of the cash is on the over. So a little bit more money is on the under. It has gone from 42 to 41. So the line has moved accordingly to the money on the total in this game. I'm not really looking at the total. I love the side more, though. I like the Cleveland Browns here at plus money.
I'm completely with you, my friend. I took Cleveland plus the 3 soon as the lines came out, and I jumped on the money line today plus 110. All those things that you said. Carson Wentz is starting today. I think he's a horrible quarterback. He throws the ball a lot of turnovers. And Cleveland, they've been suspect too since Watson's come back. They're only averaging 9 points a game. But I just think this is a better matchup for them. They're averaging 20 points on the road. Washington's only averaging 17 at home. And Washington in the first half is dead last, averaged 7 points at home in the first half, which is dead last in the NFL. So I think Cleveland will start off real good. I think they can run the ball, control the offensive line, and just push Washington back. And Washington's down a running back too, because I think Gibson's hurt. So they're down to Robinson. So Washington's very limited, man. And an interesting stat that I had researched these past couple of weeks, teams that play the 49ers, the next week, they're 0-13. Very
They
interesting
get beat
stat.
up. They get beat up.
Yes.
That
So
49ers team is not a team you want to play.
So another reason why I jumped out on Cleveland as soon as it came out, I have to trust Deshaun Watson will have a better game today. And that's what I got Cleveland. I'm with you. Plus 110, money line.
I also see this line, which is kind of enticing me as well. Carson Wentz over half an interception's only minus 108.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think if they're down, he's going to be trying to force the ball down the field. I think that's an interesting little look there as well. Don't know if I'm going to get around to betting that, but that's, I think, a good look as well. But head over to the chat. We do have one chat here. I just have to ask, LJ, did you bet Nicholas Claxton blocks yesterday?
Yes, I did, sir. It paid my rent my mortgage for this month, sir. Yes, it did.
There you go.
He had 6. I think he had 6 or 5 blocks last night.
Jeez.
And I'm telling you, the trend is every Eastern Conference team he plays, he has 3 blocks or more. It's every single game. So I'm not gonna when it ain't broke, don't fix. So hey, continue to ride the train.
Hey, props to you. I don't follow the NBA that closely, and I couldn't even tell you who Nicholas Claxton plays for. So
Brooklyn Nets. He's the center.
Oh, there you go. I'm the hockey guy here. I'm not an NBA guy, so it is what it is. We'll move on to the next matchup. This one has some interesting line movement with it as well. And that's what ultimately put me on a side in this game, because Philadelphia, they're minus 5.5 in this game, total 41.5. Mm-hmm. Now, if I was going strictly off my power rankings, this would be a play on the Philadelphia Eagles because I have them at an 8.5-point favorite. But that's with that would probably be with Jalen Hurts under center. So there is a difference between Jalen Hurts and Gardner Minshew, former ECU quarterback Gardner Minshew. Yes, I know he transferred, but he played for East Carolina. I will shout them out there. But looking at this game, this is the highest bet game of the day, and this is kind of reminding me of what we saw with the line movement with Ohio State, Georgia last night. Because this line opened up at a 7, and we have 80% of the tickets and 79% of the cash is coming in on the Philadelphia Eagles, and this went from 7 down to 6.5, down to a 6, down to a 5.5. So this line has been dropping, even though all the money is coming in on the Eagles in this game, which doesn't make any sense. So basically the books, they're taking the Eagles money, and they're saying, you like the Eagles? Well, here's the Eagles at a better price. Here's the Eagles at a better price. Mm-hmm. We saw that with yesterday's game. You guys like Georgia? You like them at 7? We'll give you 6.5. You like them at 6.5? We'll give you 6. We'll give you 5.5. We'll give you 4.5. I'm on the Saints outright in this game, plus 5.5 and plus 205. And this line movement told me everything I needed to know about the game, really. It tells me Gardner Minshew is going to be playing. And the Saints, I think, are a little bit of a sneaky team. I believe I saw they're getting Lattimore back today, and they're getting Olave back today. So they are getting a couple players back from injury as well. So I think the Saints are a very live underdog in this game. The Eagles have all but locked up the number 1 seed in the NFC, so they don't really have too much to play for. Mm-hmm. So I see the Saints as a very live dog in this game.
Well, I'm completely opposite with you on this one. There's no way I could put my money on the Saints, especially on the road. They're only averaging 18 points. Eagles average 30 points at home. Granted, you just said Gardner Minshew may be playing, but even with Gardner Minshew, man, I just think the Eagles are too much of a powerhouse for the Saints. They're 6-1 ATS at home as a fave, 6-1 to the over as a home fave as well. So I jumped on the Eagles minus the 3.5 first half. You know that's always my play. They're averaging 19 points in the first half, their last 3 home games. The Saints only averaged 14 points, like I say, on the road in their last 3 games. So I don't see them how they're going to put up any points. And they're 0-6 versus teams they have a playoff implication, like in the race or even in the playoffs. So I just think the Saints are, they're too much of a weak opponent today for the Eagles. So I'm on the Eagles all day.
Yeah, all good. Hey, we're not gonna agree on everything. That's what makes what makes shows interesting is when people don't hold hands and sing "Kumbaya" every game. That's one thing that it's like, oh yeah, I agree. Boring. Give me some disagreement. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Tiffany saying good morning. Welcome back, LJ. Always good to have you.
Yes. Hey, good morning, Tiffany.
Gregory asking for Lions Bears. That'll be in 3 games. We have Arizona, Atlanta, Jacksonville, Houston, and then we have Detroit and Chicago on the schedule here. This LJ guy saying good morning, Tiffany. I accidentally removed my comment. Ooh, somebody had a really good day yesterday. If you don't know this, Joe Kryptonite, the amount of O's in his yos really tells how good of a day he had. If it's just yo with the 1 O's, he had a bad day. But he says yo. This man probably swept the board yesterday.
Really?
I know he gave out to Tim a Chinese basketball play where the team was like 0-20 something and they won outright. So.
Chinese?
All props to Joe Kryptonite. He'll probably describe what he had in a couple comments. He hasn't commented yet, but this tells me he had a kick-ass day.
Wow.
Good morning, Untouchable. That Georgia, that was a great game. I gotta say, those college football semifinal games were the best 2 semifinal games since they went to that format of 4. Because it feels like every year at least one game was an absolute blowout. We didn't have that this year.
TCU came to play, man. They came to play yesterday.
And we're getting 13.5 with them in the national championship game. If that hits 14, I will be on TCU. Yeah. I will be on TCU. And I like the over in that game. But we'll move on here. This one's got some interesting tidbits to this one, and I'm mad of what the line I got it at because I bet it before the injury news. So, with that being said, we have the Atlanta Falcons. They're hosting the Arizona Cardinals in this game. -6 are the Falcons, total of 41 in this game. My line for this game was a pick'em. That was not with David Blau. Probably with David Blau, it's probably Atlanta -2.5, 3. So still see some value here with the Cardinals in this game. Looking at this matchup, this is the lowest bet game on the board. No surprise there. It's tough to really use these numbers because of the injury, because of the quarterback news, because this line went from 3.5 and the shot right up to 5.5, 6 as soon as that injury news was said, and then no surprise, money came flowing in on the Falcons once they heard that it was David Blau under center. I'm not happy with the bet I got. I got the Cardinals +3.5 and +155. I think even with Blau, Arizona is still a live underdog in this game. I just don't feel nearly as comfortable with it. But I'm on Arizona plus the 3.5 and plus the 155. I would absolutely play this at 6 and 6.5 and 235. I can get 7 for $1.17. I may rebet the Cardinals there at +7, potentially, because we're getting a decent price for that. But for me, I am on the Cardinals. I'm not very happy at the line I got, but it is what it is. Betting lines early, you'll beat some, you'll not beat some. I got a good line in the next game, but not this one. I'm on the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm on the Cardinals too, but I got the better line today. I got the +6.
There you go.
Both quarterbacks, like I said, are not spectacular at all. They're both triple backups, I believe, backup to the backup. So not a lot of scoring I don't see in this game. My projections say both teams are averaging under 20 points in their last 3 games. So I see a lot of field goal kicking. Matt Prater for the Cardinals has had 8 field goals made in the last 3 games. The Cardinals have turned the ball over 8 times in those games as well. 12 turnovers in their last 5 games. So they're very sloppy. As far as Atlanta, they're 2-0 to the over as a home fave. I would have took the over if they were starting quarterbacks, but these are backups. So I see a lot of running. And prop, I'm going to jump on Algier, the running back for the Falcons. Over 80 yards rushing, minus 126, because he's averaging 80 yards in his last 4 games on 14 attempts. And the Cardinals, Atlanta, I'm sorry. Atlanta averages 35 rush attempts at home, which is number 1 in the NFL. So I do believe Patterson, Algier, Drake London, we're going to see a lot of probably screen run type of offense because I don't see the quarterback for Atlanta. Forgot his name. I don't see him pushing the ball
Desmond
down.
Ritter.
Yeah, Ritter. I don't see him pushing the ball down the field. And I don't even know who this Cardinals quarterback is. Never heard of him.
He was a third backup and a third string for the Detroit Lions for a few years.
Okay. Well, like I said, don't know who he is, so I can't expect anything from these quarterbacks. So I'm going to trust that Atlanta's going to do what they do best, run the ball. So I'm going to be on the running back, Algier, rushing yards, and just sit back and watch Cardinals cover this 6 points. They may outright win the game. Who knows? On a field goal. But I do believe the Cardinals will cover the 6.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what David Blau has done. David Blau got into a few games for the 2019 Detroit Lions. He has more starts than Desmond Ritter.
Okay.
He started 5 games for the Detroit Lions in 2019.
Okay.
He went 0-5 in those games, though. But do we trust Desmond Ritter to cover 7?
No.
I end up rebetting the Cardinals here at +7 at minus 117. I don't trust the Falcons to cover a full touchdown. That's here it is plus 2,200 Chinese basketball last night. Wow. The Rockets.
Wow, man. Chinese basketball, huh?
I need to look up what the CBA league standings. It was the Ningbo Rockets, who are now 1-20 on the season.
What a great cap, man. That's crazy.
Untouchable saying, "Dang, Joe, where are you dropping those plays? We all missed out."
For real, we need to get your DMs, man. For real.
Yeah. Untouchable saying, "Where's Tim?" Because today's Sabres Day, and Capitals puck line were the best way to end the 2022. Blackhawks are a dud, and the Wild suck. Yeah, we all at ESB we do not care for the Minnesota Wild, but I did catch the over in that game yesterday. I just can't get the Minnesota Wild right at all, so I'm shocked that play hit.
Huh.
He said, "I think Tim got plus 400. He was late to the party though, but it Wild." Yeah, I think Tim said that they were up like 15 points and he still got plus $4 with it. Only win of the year. Yes. Talking about NFL now, but on hockey, I see a couple unders. Sabres Sens, I lean under in that game. Canes, New Jersey, I think I had that game like 0.15 goals over. So it's a slight lean towards the over with Canes, New Jersey, but I won't talk you off of the Hurricanes under because that team was elite defensively. And then Sharks and Hawks, I like the over in that game. I with it projected to be Mrazek and Kakinen in that, that's definitely an over for me. Have you guys gone over the marquee matchup of Browns Commanders yet? Yes, we're both on the Browns. I have props for Samuel and McLaurin over receiving yards.
Okay, not mad at that.
With Carson Wentz.
Hey.
Yeah. I got Panda Express. Yeah. I got Panda Express Uber Eats scheduled for whenever they open. Not sure what I ordered. Did it last night. Good work.
Oh, that's funny.
Someone had a good night.
Yeah, for real, right?
We'll move on to the marquee matchup of the day. We have Houston's finest, the Texans, hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars in this game. This line was really interesting because this one opened up around 4.5, and it's gotten down. My number for this game was Jacksonville minus 4.5. but I'm looking more at where the line moves are going rather than my projected numbers here, because later in the season, like, this game is a meaningless game for the Jacksonville Jaguars, because all that matters is if they beat the Texans next week or the Titans next week. 72% or 76% of the tickets are on the Jaguars, and 68% of the cash is on the Jaguars. And this line's gone from 5.5 down to a 3. We have 72% of the tickets are on the over, 63% of the cash is on the over, and this line's gone from 44 down to 43. So money coming in on both the side and the total, and the lines are moving the opposite way. So that's telling me the books are not scared of that type of money. They're just not. And I got involved in this game, both the side and the total. I got involved at 4. I got the Houston Texans at 4, and I got the Houston Texans at plus 167. Got to keep in mind, organizations tank, teams do not. And one thing that really caught my attention with this game as well, and I don't usually use these stats often, but when it's this lopsided, I will. That the Houston Texans have beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 9 straight games. So that really caught my attention there. So I am on Houston here at home. They get their first home win of the year. Both their wins are on the road. They're 0-6-1 at home this year. Houston to get their first home win against the Jaguars here. Cover the +4, plus 167, and I did grab under 43 as well in this game. I can definitely see the Jacksonville Jaguars not going gun-ho in this game because it doesn't matter. Just stay healthy and look forward to next week where you'll play for the division against the Titans. So I'm on the Texans here, plus the 4 and plus 167, and I did grab under 43.
Hey, not mad at your theory. I'll add another one for us. Jacksonville is 0-3 ATS as a favor as well. Oh. So, yeah, a lot of trends pointing to Houston in this game, but I'm not going to trust the Texans. I just believe that the Jaguars are playing much better ball. I do understand your theory about this game really doesn't mean anything. They can win it next week. But do the Texans want to win this game? Because the number 1 pick would be in jeopardy if they have.
Players don't care about the number 1 overall pick.
But
if I'm a player, the ownership, yeah. But the ownership's not playing on the field. Organizations tank. Players do not. If I'm a player, I can give a crap about the number 1 overall pick because that could be my replacement. Why would I want to play and lose for my replacement?
Hey, I get you, but I just feel that the Texans value that number 1 pick more than they value this win today. So I'm going to trust the numbers, and I'm on Jacksonville -4. Trevor Lawrence.
You can get a 5 now.
I get a 3? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I might jump on it. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm already locked in, invested in it. Jacksonville's won 5 of their last 7 games. They're averaging 26 points in the last 3 games on the road. Texans, you just mentioned 0-6-1. You did 0-6-1 as a home dog. They don't have a win at home. They're allowing 25 points at home, allowing over 400 yards a game. So I think Jacksonville's going to come in here and handle business. Like I said, Trevor Lawrence, I'm thinking about taking his over 1.5 passing touchdowns at plus 100, but they're skeptical. Why is that plus money when he's had 2+ touchdowns in 5 of his last 7 games? So it's kind of skeptical to me, but he may get a rushing touchdown. So I may jump on the rushing one plus 350. Either one of those are going to hit. Yeah. So I may just jump on the rush. They may get the goal line. He may punch it in a little, quarterback sneak or whatever. So I may heavily lean to that. But far as the side, I'm on Jacksonville -4.5. The Texans are just a horrible team, and I don't see how they're going to score. But hey, I've said that before, and they came in and played good games the last couple of home games. So
the Texans have been a covering machine a little bit the last few weeks. And if I remember right, with your Lawrence rushing touchdown prop there, that was the only touchdown scored in that Jets game last Thursday night when Jacksonville played New York. Was that rushing touchdown by Lawrence? Everything else was a field goal. So that was one way to look at it as well. I could definitely see that.
Yep.
Let me find. There we go. Oh, damn it. Now I want Panda Express. LOL, there better be orange chicken in that Panda Express. Orange chicken and the walnut honey shrimp. I know it's a premium entree, but the honey walnut shrimp is the best thing they have there. Absolutely, it's worth it. I just checked it, and it's 3 entree, all Beijing beef. Clearly, I wasn't talking. Jeez.
Oh, my God.
Untouchables on the Texans money line and minus 3.5. Or did you mean plus 3.5? Either that's an alt line, which I won't fault you for an alternate line, get some extra value there, or if that's a plus 3.5. It shouldn't let me order that damn late. That is fair. No premiums, not even the steak. My beef's strong. Yeah, that's fair. Well, it's a spicy dish like those plays last night. There you go. How many meals is that order? Are you gonna? Jeez. There you go. Oh, what's good? What's good? I'll have Tim do that when he gets back. Is email you the college basketball. We only have one play in college basketball today. That's the Providence Friars laying 5.5 against DePaul. But that is all we got for college basketball. But moving on, this is another interesting matchup where I was looking at one team all week long, and this is kind of interesting. We have the Detroit Lions. They're now 5.5. This line's gone down half a point. 52.5 is the total in this game. My line for this one was 7.5. So I had full intentions on looking at the Lions here. Just the way the market's moved, it's kept me off of them here, and it may push me towards the Chicago Bears in this matchup. Actually, 66% of the tickets are on the Lions, 58% of the cash is on the Lions. This line's gone from 6.5 to 5.5 though, which is kind of interesting. It's kind of looking like what we're seeing from the Texans game, where the money's coming in on Jacksonville and the line's moving down. Same thing with the Eagles. Money's coming in on the Eagles and the line's moving down. Same thing with the Lions and the Bears here. Is we saw this line open up at 6.5. Now it's a 5.5. It's gone across through that 6 number, which is a semi-key number in football, not a overly key number like the 3 and the 7. And 76% of the tickets are on the over, 75% of the cash is on the over. And it's moved up. No surprise there. It's a 52.5. I kind of lean under in this game if these defenses knew what defense was. And I know it's a divisional game, so I can't take an over in this game because it's divisional and it's a 52.5. I don't take totals above 50 over the total. That's just not something I do either. So I lean Bears now. I think I lean Bears taking the points in this game, even though I have this at a 7.5. The line movement's keeping me off the Lions in this game. At the very least, it's dog or pass for me now. The way the lines moved, I don't like grabbing a line when most of the money is on one side and the line's moving the opposite way. So this would be a dog or pass for me in this game, and probably a pass at this point.
I took the over 52. The average combined score of Lions home games are at 59. The Bears trend to the over 5-2-0 over as a road dog. And the Bears defense allows 28 points on the road, which is second last in the NFL. So I believe a lot of points will be scored. Defense also allows 3.5 touchdowns on the road. So Jared Goff, touchdown prop could be in play today. I didn't take it. I really don't like trusting Jared Goff like that. I've never been a fan of him. But I can see him having at least 3 touchdowns today. I see Swift having a good game today as well, out of the backfield, as well as catching the ball. But as far as the Lions, they are top 5 in first half points scored and second half points scored at home. I believe they're more comfortable at home. They're averaging 29 points in the last 3 home games. So, yeah, I'm going to trust the Lions take care of business today. I didn't take the spread because I do believe it could be a backdoor cover with a high score like that. You know, the Lions could probably be playing defense, prevent defense at the end of the game, and Bears end up, scoring and covering that points. But I'm just going to trust that it's going to be a lot of points. So I took the over 52. That's my play. Yeah,
which is not a bad look. Both these teams are 10-5 to the over as well this year. So these are both over machines, which is keeping me off the divisional under. I can't take an over this high in the NFL, but I'm not betting an under. So that's kind of the way it is. This game scares me a little bit. Knowing me, I'll probably end up on the Bears before kickoff.
Okay.
Even though on Power Hour this week I gave out the Lions, but that was earlier in the week before I got to truly see all the line movement and things along those lines, which matters a little bit more to me these later weeks than it did earlier in the season. But I said, "Oh, come on, Nick, you already know I'm back in the dog outright -3.5." That's what I assumed it was. What's the line on that, Untouchable? What is the line on that? I thought you was Tim with my brightness down. Jeez. My only take for the Jags might be their running back rushing props.
Yeah, I took any small play on the running back.
Which I feel like that's if you're a prop player in the NFL, that's just something you've done all year. Is just running backs against the Texans.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. How do you feel about Fields rushing yards? Why not?
He didn't hit it last game. He didn't hit it last game. So, no, he only had like 11, I think, against Buffalo. Buffalo didn't allow him to run the ball like that. But
this the Buffalo defense.
Yeah, you're right.
A little bit different. Than
yeah, you're right. You're right. I just didn't take it today. I just have a funny feeling that the Lions are gonna handle business today, and he's gonna be in a lot of trouble. So, but I'm not scared. Like I said, I wouldn't be, hesitant to not, encourage somebody else to do it. So.
Yeah, especially after what we saw from that rush defense last week, I wouldn't talk you off of it.
Yeah.
Lions playing meaningful football in January. I mean, and the Jets are too, and the Giants are, and the Jaguars are. What is going on right now?
Coaching.
Quite the rebuilding years for these teams.
Yeah, it's the coaching.
Yeah.
New culture.
Kryptonite saying Bears -6.5 at $7. Okay. Okay.
For
Justin
real.
Fields provides some false hope for next year. Hell yeah. The Bears have lost many games in a row. Now got to win one eventually, I always say. Hey, I mean, if you can call a 22-1 on a team that's 0-20 on the season in Chinese basketball, I'll give you full props. I will take the Bears out right now.
Right. It's hard to argue that one, man.
Yeah. We'll move on, though. This one's an interesting one. Another injury involved in this game. This game does have my attention. I'm probably going to look to make a move on this game as well. We have the New England Patriots. They're -2.5 at home. Total of 41 in this game. I have this game at Patriots -3. It is going to be Teddy Two Gloves in this game. Teddy Bridgewater will be starting for the Miami Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa should be done for the rest of the year after his third different incident for head injury, concussion. Even though that first time they said it was a back injury, we all know that crap wasn't a back injury. We all know it was a concussion, and you sent him out there the next week, and he got stretchered off. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So I would be very disappointed in the Dolphins if Tua plays next week, or if they make the playoffs because this guy needs to shut it down for the year. On the other side, this New England Patriots team has not been very good lately. Looking at where the money is coming on this game, we have 53% of the tickets are on New England, but 51% of the cash is on Miami. So it's been pretty split down the middle. But I really want to see where this line has gone since they announced that it was going to be Bridgewater, because this line opened up at -1.5 for the Dolphins, and this moved to 2.5 immediately when they announced it was going to be Bridgewater. And money came, not surprisingly, money came flowing in on the Patriots to where there was pretty sharp money on the Patriots at 2.5, but then that number flipped really when it hit 3, and all of a sudden the bigger bets when it hit 3 came in on the Dolphins. I'm interested in the Dolphins in this game, even with Bridgewater, who is a very competent quarterback. I think that this was a little bit of an overreaction to the news. I can get +125 with Miami, or I can get +2.5, or +3 would be a -130. If you want the full field goal in this game, I could see this being a close competitive game. I lean under in this one as well. I don't trust New England offensively to be able to put up an over in this game. So I lean under in this spot. It has gone down to a 40.5. I am interested in Miami on this game, though.
I agree. And I took Miami plus the 3. And I also on Miami first half plus 115. They're much better first half team than the Patriots are. The Patriots are only averaging 5 points at home their last 3 in the first half. So they struggle. They struggle early. And I do believe Bridgewater is a better quarterback than Tua, in my opinion. I believe he can run the offense better. And I believe Miami will come out, willing to try to win this game. They're averaging 21 points on the road their last 3. So that gives me 17 for the Patriots. But like I said, I like Miami early. The Patriots could come back and, make a game of it in the second half. They're up 5-1-1 ATS as a favorite, 3-1 ATS as a home fave. But I just don't trust Mac Jones. They struggle in the red zone and on third downs. So they could easily, make a turnover, and Miami could catapult and win this game. So I'm going to trust the first half first, though. It's going to be my play. Miami plus 115 straight up money line first half is my play.
Yeah. And with those numbers kind of point you towards a first half under as well. First half under 20 could be an interesting look in that game. I wish that was a 21 rather than a 20. But if New England just doesn't put up any offense in the first half, this game could go under for the first half, which could be an interesting look as well. I'm interested in the Dolphins. I'm hoping to get a 3. I'm going to wait it out and hopefully get a 3. It's sitting at 2.5 on Bet Online. So, so I want to wait it out, see if I can get a 3 in this game. If not, then I'll probably just take the money line. But I'm definitely interested in the Dolphins here.
Yep.
We'll move on here. This is quite a spread. Kansas City is 13-point favorites against the Denver Broncos. Total 45 in this game. I believe it's Russell Wilson behind center for the Denver Broncos in this game. I had this game at around a 10.5. So I see some value here with the Broncos in this game. I'll probably end up on the Broncos. I know Tim and I put that as a circa pick, getting, I believe, 12.5 points with them, and we're getting 13 with them now. No surprise, an overwhelming amount of the money is in on the Chiefs. 88% of the tickets. What can potentially go wrong there on a minus 13 spread? 72% of the cash. So actually, if you flip it, 12% of the tickets are on the Broncos, but 28% of the cash. So some bigger bets coming in on Denver in this game. That's the side I'm looking at in this one. We're seeing 51% of the tickets and 80% of the cash is on the under. But yet this line has moved from 44 to 45, which is telling me that they're not scared of the under money. So an over could be an interesting look in this game. They're maybe thinking Denver puts up some points in this game, or either that or just Patrick Mahomes is able to put up points at will against this Denver defense, even though Denver's defense has been really strong this year. So even though it's a divisional matchup, this market's pointing towards an over in this game. I'm looking more towards the Denver Broncos getting 13 points in this one now.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going against the market. I took the under 45. I just don't see Denver getting any points. If they get 10 points in this game, I would be surprised. They're only averaging 16 points on the road in their last 3 games, averaging 15 points on the road on the season, which is second last in the NFL. They're 0-4 on the road, ATS as a dog, 0-4 in their division. I mean, it's just pointing to Kansas City having a great day. They're 4-0 in the division, and they're 5-1 to the under as a home fave. And we all know Denver is 11-4 to the under. So I jumped on the under as soon as it came out. I'm not going to worry about a side. 12.5 points is a lot of points. And we saw how Denver played Kansas City the last game. Kansas City had to really fight to win that game a couple weeks ago that they played. But the fact that Patrick Mahomes is 10-0 versus the Broncos, I don't see him losing the game outright. I just don't trust that they're going to cover the points. So I'm just going to stick to the under 45, which would be my play.
Yeah, I was going to say, we know how Patrick Mahomes is covering double-digit spreads. It's a money-burning proposition for him to cover double digits. So I think this is a spot where if I do bet the Broncos, a money line sprinkle will probably not be involved with it because this has probably backdoor cover written all over it.
Yeah.
And I will be on the Broncos. I will be adding a few plays after the show. I'll probably be on the Bears, the Dolphins, and the Broncos, adding those later after the show. But I am going to be on Denver in some way, shape, or form today.
All right.
Moving on here. This one I have bet, which this is another one. This 5.5 number always freaks me out for a favorite. Mm-hmm. And this is me as a Giants fan playing this game as well. We have the Giants 5.5-point favorites, total of 39 in this game. There is playoff implications in this game. Giants win, and they're in the playoffs during a rebuilding year. Quite the rebuild year. The Colts obviously came in off of that embarrassing loss on Monday Night Football last week, where they put up a whopping 3 points. It wasn't Big Dick Nick. It was Limp Dick Nick, apparently, for Nick Foles there. Just an embarrassing performance for there, which kind of makes me think the Colts are the play in this game. So I did play this game. I played the Colts plus 5.5, and I played the Colts money line as well. And this could be a semi-emotional hedge as well. I'm either cashing a bet in this game or the Giants are going to the playoffs. That's the way it is. I had this game more at a 2.5. Not a 5.5. I could see this game being 21-17, 17-13, something along those lines, because the Giants are not a team that are built to cover these types of numbers. We've seen that before. They barely covered that when they played the Texans a few weeks ago. This is that team that you want to back as a dog, not a favorite, which if they do make the postseason, you'll probably get them at a dog price versus Minnesota or San Fran, whoever they play. But for me in this game, I grabbed the Colts plus 5.5, and I grabbed the Colts money line in this game. 85% of the tickets and 82% of the cash are on the Giants. What could potentially go wrong there? 63% of the tickets and 90% of the cash is on the under. The line's gone from 41 down to 39. That one makes sense because people are responding to that Colts offense being able to do absolutely nothing last week. So I am on the Colts today. I got them 5.5 and money line. It's either I cash a bet or my team goes to the playoffs. So I'm happy either way.
Yeah, I'm with you. Colts plus the 5.5. The Giants have not had one win by more than one score this season. Yep. So, and the fact that you just mentioned the Colts got embarrassed last Monday night, I just see them bouncing back real strong, having a good game. The Giants are averaging 19 points on the road. At home, their last 3 games. The Colts are averaging 17 points on the road in their last 3 games. So that puts me right there, plus 5.5. And I don't want to take the Colts outright and win for the simple fact they're 0-3 versus the NFC East, and the Giants are 3-0 versus the AFC South. So I do trust the Giants will win the game, but not cover that 5.5. So I'm right there with you. Colts plus the 5.5.
Yeah, I mentioned this, I think, on the Capper show with Jimmy and Jose, where I said as a Giants fan, I just don't trust them as a 5.5-point favorite. That's just something I just can't do. So
I agree. Take them a dog.
Yeah. We got quite the chat here. Let's see. There we go. Texans minus 3.5 is plus 222 on DK and plus 224 on Caesars. That's not a bad look. It's not a bad look at all. Plus 240 on BetMGM. You can get Texans minus 3.5 and under 55.5 at $3. It's not a bad look. I do think that game goes under. Any thoughts on the first half under 20? I believe that's for the Miami game. I would lean that way. Yeah. I usually don't bet first half stuff though. That's just I usually just bet full games when it comes to NFL. I like the Dolphins plus 3 and first half money line sprinkle full game. Yep. Dolphins just beat Patriots kryptonite. There you go.
We with you.
Whatever that word is, which just means head. Apparently this means that. Yeah. I have to start one of my New Year's resolutions that's having ESB on your Twitch recap. There you go.
Hey.
There we go. I saw you post about that on Twitter there, Untouchable. What's good, Markel?
What's up, Markel?
Laugh, Nick, and shave your head. Ball is beautiful. What? I don't get that, but okay. Saying hi, Markel. Where's Tim? Why is he absent? Unacceptable. Yeah, he's out and about right now. I think he just mentioned he just got home. He'll be in the chat because I currently stole his office for today because he said I couldn't. LOL. Foles had ED last week. Yep. It wasn't Mick last week. Markel asking Ice X what he has. Drank too many shots after they beat the Bruins. Oh yeah, Tim drank too many shots after the Sabres beat the Bruins yesterday. Absolutely, that was the reason why. Markel, he's on nothing. He didn't even say shots. You ain't so bad, Bruins. Hashtag Sabres playoff run. Fair. I'm home and I'll be in the chat. Cool. Still dumb. Fair. If the Colts Giants end up tied, the 5.5 would still walk. Yes, it would. Yeah. So it's my day off. There you go. Dolphins win this week and lose next week. Okay, Jets fan. Cool. Good to know that. Detroit over.
Okay.
Yeah, I know LJ's on that. Dolphins money line with Teddy. In Teddy we trust. In Teddy we trust.
Let's get it.
I will be on the Dolphins in some way, shape, or form. If I can get +3, I'll take the 3. If not, I will take the money line. I think they win the football game. But we will move on here. We have 5 more games to go over, and this one's an interesting one. There's playoff implications for both teams in this one, both with their playoff hopes, though, being kind of diminished with losses last week. The Seahawks and the Jets. The Jets are now 1.5-point favorites, total 42.5 in this game. I'm seeing 59% of the tickets and 68% of the cash is on the Seattle Seahawks in this game. Line has gone from +2 to -1.5 for the Jets, but I believe that move is when they announced that it was going to be Mike White behind center and not Zach Wilson. I believe that's what moved the line because the line jumped when that happened. So I believe that's what did do that. And for the total, I'm seeing 53% of the tickets and 78% of the cash is on the under in this game. It has moved down from 44 to 42.5. I don't like this game. I'm not a fan of this game. I could see it going both ways. I'm seeing the Seahawks slowly become a public underdog, and the public perception behind the Jets is probably as low as it'll get, considering the way they started the year and the way that people are looking at this New York team. It's Jets or nothing for me in this game, and I'm going to opt towards the side of nothing in this one because one thing I will say, though, is I prefer Mike White over Zach Wilson, and that does not say much because Zach Wilson I don't think is a NFL quarterback, not even a backup. So I lean Jets. I did not play this game, though.
Yeah, this is kind of a tricky game because both of these teams have digressed for the most part for the season, in my opinion. They're both Jets. They've only averaged 13 points on the road in their last 3 road games, averaging 4 points in the first half. They just cannot seem to score the ball. But there is a quarterback change, so it may be a difference with Mike White. I do believe that they have said the team loves him better. They like to play for him. And the fact that you're coming back after cracking your ribs a couple of weeks ago, man, like NFL players to me they're soldiers, man. They go to war every Sunday. And for him to have cracked ribs, I understand they have medicine and things like that to stop the pain. But that's
still insane.
That's what I'm saying. You're coming back to play football after having cracked ribs that sent you to the hospital. So, hey, it is what it is. Like I said, that's what they get paid to do. That's why contracts aren't guaranteed because you can get knocked out in any given game. So, as far as the side, man, I stayed off this game as well. I'm with you. I just couldn't find an edge. Seattle is averaging 19 points, the last 3 home games, but they have 6 losses against the spread in a row. The Jets are only 1-5 in the last 6 games. So it's just too much digression for me to try to pick a side. So I definitely with you. I stayed off of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. When we look at these two teams and what they've done the last few weeks, absolutely have no interest in either.
Yeah.
The Jets have not covered in 3 of their last 4 and 4 of their last 6, and the Seahawks have not covered in 6 straight.
6
So,
straight. Yep.
no, I have no interest in either side. And maybe with Mike White, you lean towards an over in this game because Seahawks defensively have not been very good. I lean over, but the market's moved a 1.5 the opposite way. So I'm probably going to stay off of that one as well.
I agree.
Ice X is on Seattle, and Tim's on the Jets. What else is new?
Yeah.
He says, shut up, Tim Earle. Mike White season. It's a trap. Geno Smith is mid. Oh, boy. Here we go. Tim equals public. All right. First half under. There we go. We finally have some actual non-biased talk here. First half under. Tim is going to have a good day. Parlay. Jets, maybe. Nuggets, I don't know. I haven't capped the NBA yet. And the Sabres, I'm going to say no. I lean Senators. Sorry, I lean Senators. Nuggets +4, Buffalo sauce.
All right.
I'm guessing the Nuggets are +4 today. Jets, Jets, sprinkling -3.5 and over 55.5 at +1050. Only because it's Mike White. Zach Wilson would be an under. Yeah, I kind of wish it was still Zach Wilson so we can just spam unders with this Jets team and move on. But it is what it is. This next game is interesting. This is my Super Bowl pick right here. The San Francisco 49ers. They're 9.5-point road favorites, total 41 in this game. I have this game capped at Niners minus, what was it? 3.5, but that was before the quarterback change.
Yep.
I have no interest in the Las Vegas Raiders in this spot particularly. It's kind of tough to judge these line movements because most of it's when they went from Derek Carr to Jared Stidham. For me, it's Niners or nothing. And I think that's the way it's going to be for 49ers games for the rest of the season for me. It's 49ers or nothing because I truly believe this is the best team in the NFL right now. Defensively, they're one of the best in the NFL. And I think they shut down the Las Vegas Raiders in this spot. Do I want to lay 9.5 on the road, though? I mean, if there is a team I trust to be laying this many points on the road right now, it's only the San Francisco 49ers. We look back at their last few games here. They win by 17 against Washington. They win by 8 against Seattle. They win by 28 against Tampa Bay. They win by 16 against Miami. They win by 13 against New Orleans. They win by 28 against the Cardinals. They beat the Rams by 17. So this is a team that's not only winning, but they're winning by margin. So this is a lean towards the Niners. Knowing me, I'll probably get involved with the Niners here in this spot at 9.5, even with because the quarterback change. It's one thing to have a quarterback change and all that. That's fine, but you're doing it this late in the season, and you're setting up Jared Stidham to play the best defense in football. He's not going to have a very good day, and I think that 49ers kind of route this game. So I think 49ers are the look in this one. I think this is another 17-point win for them. So I'm going to probably look towards the Niners in this spot. Maybe first half if you don't want to lay the 9.5 full game.
Well, I'm going to lay the 9.5 full game because 5 of the last 6 wins have been by double digits. I also have the 49ers as my Super Bowl bet. I bet the 49ers at plus 500 as soon as they had traded for Christian McCaffrey. I went straight to the book because I believe that was going to catapult them to an elite status in the NFL to compete with the Eagles, teams like that. They're 10-5 against the spread, 9-4 ATS as a fave, 6 straight wins against the spread. Defense only allows 15 points a game, and they held their opponents under 300 yards on the road. So all the stats point to the 49ers crushing the Raiders, and I had that with Derek Carr. Now they have Stidham out there. So I believe they're going to crush them even more. This game probably won't even be competitive. You probably can turn this game off at halftime. And I'm also on Christian McCaffrey's anytime touchdown, minus 167. I know it's juice, but he's had 8 touchdowns in 9 games since he's been traded to the 49ers. So I believe he's going to get a touchdown, and I'm going to jump on George Kittle plus 120 because I believe he will have a touchdown. Brock Purdy may have 4 touchdown passes today. So I believe it's going to be a good game for the 49ers. I'm all on the 9.5, and those are my 2 props. And like I said, we probably could turn this game off at halftime.
Yeah, you can if you guys do want to watch this game. I believe the spot you can find it is www.pornhub.com because this is gonna be a complete. They're gonna and I did get involved with the Niners for the Super Bowl. I got $3 for them to win the NFC, and I got $7 for them to win the Super Bowl. I did that after their win against Tampa Bay. I was completely sold after that.
Yep.
Yeah, number 1 in total yards, number 1 in rushing yards allowed, number 1 in points allowed. I will be adding the 49ers minus 9.5 on my card for today.
There you go.
This one is one of my favorite games of the week. The Green Bay Packers. Oh, my bad. I forgot to go back to the chat here. I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm sorry. It's too bad we can't bet on the Bulls to lose by exactly 1 point. Happens way too often.
Okay.
Raiders money line. Good luck. Team total over with the 49ers.
Yeah.
All right.
Not
bad. Still crushing teams without Jimmy Garoppolo. Brock Purdy may be the first Mr. Irrelevant to win a Super Bowl. Just saying. It's relevant quarterback. McCaffrey has been amazing since the trade.
Yes, he has.
And I mentioned this. The 49ers, that told us they were in a win now mode. And that was the one piece I think that they needed. And I know they had a really good running game, but look how huge that acquisition is now with Elijah Mitchell out, and they traded Jeff Wilson Jr. Like, McCaffrey's a huge part in that, and Deebo Samuel out, and this team is still crushing teams. So
it's crazy.
49ers better hope they lose 1 game before the playoffs. Purdy still hasn't lost an NFL game.
That is true.
Yeah. Not even going to touch the Vegas Raiders first half money liners. I get what you're doing there because this was a CFL reference. When I capped the Hamilton Tiger Cats, they were a first half team and not a full game team because they love blowing leads in the second half and blown covers in the second half. So I can understand that. Yeah, I definitely see that there. Good reference for the Tiger Cats reference there. McDaniels is not going to have a job at the end of the season. So 49ers minus 9.5 is going to make my card. But we'll talk about my favorite game of the week because this is one of those where the NFL knows who they want because they would love to flex an Aaron Rodgers win or go home week 18 game. Because we have the Green Bay Packers. They're 3-point home favorites with a total of 47.5 in this game. Now, looking at this spot here, I did see an interesting stat with this matchup. And this is over the last 20 years. This is the 10th time this has happened. A team that is under 500 is a favorite to a team that has won at least 80% of their games this year.
Mm-hmm.
Those previous 9 matchups, the favorite, a.k.a. the team that's under 500, is 9-0 outright, and they're 8-0-1 against the spread. When a team under 500 is a favorite against a team with an over 800 win percentage, they are a favorite for a reason. Yeah. And I will continue to say this each and every time we talk about this Minnesota Vikings team. They are a fraud. This Vikings team is a fraud. They are 12-3 with a point differential of +5. This is not a team that wins by margin. Now, granted, you just need them to win this game in general or keep it within 3. But the Packers at home in December is not something I want to go up against either. This is a team where once the temperatures get cold in Green Bay, the team gets hot. And the NFL is savulating over a potential Aaron Rodgers flexed Week 18 game where if he wins, he gets into the playoffs. That's what the NFL is begging for. And at the end of the day, we have a 12-3 team who is an underdog to an under 500 team. Must be free money, right?
Yeah,
Packers
right.
Out. I'm on Packers -3.
Yeah, I lean towards the Packers too, man. I'm with you. The defense they allow under 300 yards at home, man. They play good at home. And Minnesota gives up a lot of passing yards. Defense allows 415 yards on the road, which is most in the NFL. So I believe Aaron Rodgers is going to have a good day. I took his prop early in 235 passing yards, but it's moved up to 265. So they know something. And I'm right with you. And I did not know about that stat, but that stat trend correlates with my cap. And I'm going to be on Green Bay as well, man. And the fact that Minnesota is like, I think 11-0 against one score.
11-0 with one score games.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to eventually break.
Yeah, now last year it was the opposite for them. I think they were like 1-8 in one score games. I expected positive regression from this year. I did not expect 11-0.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm with you on Green Bay. But I'm going to go on the other side with the prop, Justin Jefferson. I'm going to take his over 100 yards, minus 118. He's averaging 11 receptions and 160 yards in his last 3 games. So if Kirk Cousins is going to have any success, he's going to have to go to his main guy today. But that does not necessarily correlate to a win. And they do have 3 losses against the spread in a row. And Green Bay has 3 wins versus the spread in a row. So like you just mentioned, they are a favorite for a reason. 3.5 favorite too. You know,
yeah, I got it's a 3 now, but I got
okay. Okay, well, it opened at a 3.5. So that was more than a field goal. So that's letting you know something. So yeah. I'm with you. I'm on Green Bay too. I got the 3.5, but for show purposes, minus the 3.
Yep. Senators blowing it yesterday in the third period. That was frustrating, yeah. Justin Jefferson needs 109 yards to break another record.
Yep.
Yeah. Where's Terry? Going to be a bad day for the Vikings. I hope so. I got my money from the Packers last week. Stay off for me because I can't bet the Packers. I absolutely can't. I'm only on Jefferson props and Cousins over half an interception for the Vikings today.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind taking that too, that interception prop.
Yeah. Teaser hit yesterday for TCU OSU. Nice. And the overs, but my heart is broken. Sorry, Tate. I know you're a Michigan fan, but I mean the direction that Harbaugh has that program going, you'll be fine, and you get a free win next year, week 1 when you play my Pirates. So, look forward to that matchup. I don't at all, but going over. I can see an over in this game. I don't like betting overs in divisional games, though. That's just something that I can't do. Divisional games are under or nothing for me. So we'll move on here. This game, I have my lock of the weekend. We have the Rams and the Chargers. My lock is that LA is going to win this game. LA is going to win this game. I will guarantee it 100%. Whether it's the Rams or the Chargers, got me. But total 41 in this game. But I actually do have a play on the side in this one. Looking at this spot, I have the Chargers around 5-point favorites in this game. We're getting 6.5 with the Rams. I did grab 6.5, and I did grab money line with the Rams as well. When we look at it, the Chargers just clinched last week with that win over the Colts. So they really have not much to play for. They can't move up. They obviously can't win the division. So it's just they stay healthy and get ready for the postseason is really what you got to do. And this will be the first time we see Justin Herbert in a playoff game, which is going to be fun. I think if you're looking for a long shot in the AFC, why not the Chargers? Because this defense is getting healthy. Their quarterback is good. They have a good running back. They got good receiving core. Their offensive line's fine. I think this Chargers team is definitely a nice little dark horse if you don't want to look at Chiefs, Bills, or Bengals. Like if you're not looking for the 3 obvious teams in the AFC, Chargers are the pick there. And you can probably get decent value because everybody's saying Chiefs, Bills, or Bengals. I think that the Bills are the third of those teams, by the way, as well. But yeah, I'm on the Rams though. Rams coming in off of a nice win last week against the Broncos. Baker Mayfield's playing well with this team, and he's playing for a starting spot. Maybe not with the Rams or next year because Stafford will be back, but maybe he's fighting for maybe spot with Jets or with maybe like the Texans next year or some team. I mean, not the Carolina Panthers. They just had him. They didn't want him, but like. But like he's fighting for a starting job next year. And he's better than some of these starters that are playing right now. So I definitely think that Baker Mayfield's motivated, and this is the best we've seen him play in a while. So I'm on the Rams. I got him plus 6.5, and I got him money lined as well.
Wow, Rams money line, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get to that, but I did take the under 42.5 because this is at SoFi Stadium, even though it's a Rams road game, it's still their stadium. So
it's a neutral site game.
Yeah, it's just a different locker room, So both these teams haven't been scoring, especially in the second half. I got the Rams only averaging 17 points in the last 3 road games, and I have the Chargers only averaging 19 points in the last 3 home games. And so that put me at the under 42.5, which is the bet I've already made. But an interesting stat as well, not to mention that the Rams, the defense, they allow under 100 yards rushing on the road. Now, I don't know if this is considered a road, like I said, because this is their home stadium. So I don't know how much that stat would come into play. You see what I'm saying?
I think it's just as much of a road game as when the Clippers play at the Lakers.
Exactly. But interesting stat that I have right here, the fact that I looked up 14 field goals by the opponent has been made at SoFi Stadium. Matt Gay has cooked 9 field goals at home this year, which equals 23 field goals made at SoFi Stadium in Rams games. Now, this is a Rams game, but like we mentioned, it's their same stadium, but it's considered they're on the road. So I'm going to take both field goal kickers. I'm going to take Matt Gay to get over 1.5. And I'm going to take Dickers. I do believe that's his name for the Chargers to get over.
Dicker the kicker. Yep.
Yeah. So both kickers over 1.5. I do believe a lot of field goals and a lot of punts would be in this game because, like you just mentioned, why are the Chargers motivated to win this game? They've already clinched the playoff. They're okay. The Rams, they really don't have much to play for. But like you say, Baker could be trying to show out to see that he's still in a position to have a starting role. But at the end of the day, I don't see a lot of points. I do want to take Justin Herbert's pass attempt prop because the Rams allow 40 pass attempts, but they haven't put it out yet. They may not put it out because they know he's probably going to hit it. That's how books do it. They don't give you the prop. More than likely, they ain't trying to give you no money. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to take the safer bet under 42.5. Yeah. Well, 41 for the show, but I got 42.5 early.
Yeah, that's fair. And for those wondering, plus 950 Chargers to win the AFC. I think that's a decent look.
Yeah.
Don't know if I'm going to bet that, but I think that's a decent look.
Yeah. Don't trust the coach too much, though.
No, I do not. Let's see. Good morning. Watching from Nassau, the Bahamas.
Hey.
Appreciate it. Dolphins must win today. Must win does not mean will win. That's something we all have to learn.
Yeah.
Battle of LA. Yes. Battle of LA. At the Atlantis Resort. Now they're talking back and forth. Now I'm a citizen. This is my hometown. Nice. Let's go Dolphins. Yes. Go to Chopsticks. Tell us Smitty, the bartender Joe sent you. He'll hook you. All right. The Dolphins have a huge fan base in the Bahamas because it's the nearest to Miami, Florida. That makes sense. Who are your best kicking props today? Would it be Matt Gay?
Me and the kicker for the Chargers. Both of them.
Yeah. Chargers minus 2.5. Where the hell are you seeing 2.5? Is that first half?
Is it?
Is that first half? I don't know where the hell you're seeing 2.5 though. Other than maybe a first half. Which Chargers are 3.5 first half. I would love to know. And then he also says tease the Chargers -1 in the over 35.
Yeah, I don't know where the 2.5 is. I got 3.5 too, first half.
Yeah. But we'll move on to the final game here. This one's interesting. I did make a play on this one. And we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're at the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are now a 2-point favorite, total 35 in this game. And I had this game at Baltimore -3 is my projected line. So right off the rip, I saw a value on the Baltimore Ravens. And then I see that it's something that I know Jimmy the Bag preaches is public underdogs do not win often. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think, are a definition of a public underdog today. 67% of the tickets and 77% of the cash is on the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game. And we also have 68% of the tickets and 67% of the cash is on the under. The lines move from 36 down to 35. As low as this number is, I think the under is a decent look in this game. It's my lean for the total. Is the under. It's a primetime divisional matchup. Just 35, I think, is a little low. Here's the problem with this game. I see this being potentially a 17-16 type of game, but I love Baltimore in this spot. I ended up grabbing them last night at around minus 139, just straight up money line because, and I know generally speaking, these 2-point spreads is just take the money or just take the spread, whatever. But this and the AFC North is one of those divisions where 1-point games are pretty common occurrences. It feels like, so I don't want to mess with a -2, -2.5 when it comes to that. So I went ahead and I took Baltimore money line in this game. Maybe a lean towards the team total under with the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game, which it's a little low to 16.5. So that kind of kept me off of that. I was hoping for a 17 for that team total, but it would be a lean towards the under 16.5 team total with the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game. But I'm on Baltimore money line.
Yeah, I would lean Baltimore as well. Didn't get to the window with the side, but I did get to the window with the under 35. I bet that as soon as it came out, both teams trend under. Baltimore is 11-4 to the under, 5-1 to the under as a home fave. So I'm going to trust that number is going to hit. Both quarterbacks, they're both pretty much backups, to be honest. I mean, Pickett, you could consider him a starter, but if they had a better,
I think Pittsburgh found their future quarterback.
Yeah.
With him.
Okay. Well, he's been doing, decent, but the fact that they're only averaging 17 points in the last 3 road games, Baltimore is only averaging 14 points in their last 3 home games. And Baltimore averaged 7 less points without Lamar Jackson. So that trend tips me to the under. I couldn't get to a side. Either one of these teams could win. Pittsburgh is 5-3 ATS as a road dog. But they're only averaging 16 points on the road. Baltimore is averaging 20 points at home. So that puts me 4 points more. So I would lean Baltimore with the side, but I couldn't get to the window with the spread as well. Just don't trust them to cover that at home. They're 1-5-1 ATS at home. So they may win outright, but they may not cover. And I wouldn't be mad at Justin Tucker's kicking prop today as well. 2 field goals. He should get that. But divisional game, we're going with the under 35.
Yeah, and I have that Steelers team total under written down. That's something I'm probably going to add after the show, I think, because that'll be my way of getting on the primetime under without having to take an under 35, because that number scares me as well a little bit. That's a really low number. He said disregard the first one. Fair. With the Chargers -2.5. First half under 17.5. That's not a bad look. I can see this being 7-3 heading into halftime.
I will lean more the second half under.
Second half under. Yeah.
Because Pittsburgh is only averaging 3 points in the second half on the road, which is dead last.
Oof. In the NFL. Yeah. Probably apps for those low Chargers minus spreads. Kiosk might be giving them. Fair. How do we feel about Rangers and Panthers over 6? Last 10 meetings have gone over. I did not play the total in that game, and I grabbed the Rangers at +118 in that game. I don't think the Rangers should be a dog to the Florida Panthers right now, the way the Panthers have been playing. And I think I had the Rangers winning that game by pretty decent amount. I had that game projected 3.3 to 2.57 in favor of the Rangers. Goalie advantage with the Rangers, with Shesterkin over Bobrovsky, and just the current form advantage for the Rangers as well. Defensively, Florida's been bad. I wouldn't talk you off of, if you like the over, I think I would rather play the Rangers team total over. But yeah, I would love the Rangers to lose as an Islander fan, but I did bet them today, so it is what it is. Ravens -3.5 and under 40.5 is +230. Exact score 9-3, maybe 13-9. I can see that. I can really see that. Ravens win and under totals are decent plus money looks. There you go. Steelers burnt me first half. Last by the way, too. I'm going back to Steelers in the first half. There you go.
Okay.
Hope the Rangers lose. Hashtag Sabres for the Cup. Is everybody on the Panthers? Be a little bit more specific. Florida Panthers, Carolina Panthers. I think a lot of people are on the Carolina Panthers today, and I don't really look at line movements and stuff like that with the NHL. The NHL is one of those where I don't care about line movements. I trust my numbers for that, but the NFL are one of those sports that I do trust the markets a little bit more. But that is everything for today's slate. So we're gonna recap, and then we're gonna head on out for this one here. He says Carolina NFL. I lean Tampa Bay, but I wanted that at a 3 or a 2.5, not a 3.5. I don't trust the Buccaneers to win by more than a field goal. It is what it is. But for me today, I am rocking with the Saints plus 5.5 and the money line. I'm on the under 40 in the Carolina game. I prefer that rather than maybe Carolina team total under as well. Prefer that rather than a side in that one at this point. I'm on the Colts 5.5 and money line. I got the Texans at 4 and 164 and the under 43. I got the Cardinals at 3.5 and 155. I rebet them at 7 this morning. I got the Browns at plus 110. I'm on the Rams 6.5 and money line. Packers -3 and Ravens money line. I'm also looking at a couple other plays. I'm looking at the Dolphins. I'm looking at the Bears. And I'm looking at the 49ers. And then maybe a team total under for the Steelers. I will be adding a few more plays after the show. What about you, LJ?
Yeah, I'm on all the ones I mentioned. I'm on the Cleveland, Washington under, Arizona plus 6, Green Bay -3.5. I'm on the Colts plus 5.5, and I'm on Kansas City and Denver under 45 is my plays for today. And looking to have a great day like we had yesterday. Let's enjoy some Sunday football. And like I said, Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to the chat. And hey, let's make some money today.
Yeah, let's get 2023 started off right. But that is going to do it for this show. We want to thank you guys as always for watching. We do have 6 comments real quick. Tim, show yourself. Come on, man. It's the first Sabres day of 2023. And then Tim said we have Panthers plus 7 on the site. This is Tim approved. Sabres money line over and anytime goal scorer, Mr. TNT Tage Thompson. Good luck, everyone. Happy New Year. Let's make it a great one. Yeah, let's stay hydrated. There you go. And then Buffalo over. Oh, there's Tim.
Why do you have a background on?
Because I felt like putting a background on.
My Murray jersey's right behind you. That's all right.
And I'll is that better?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, Tim's got the Murray jersey behind there. So.
It has to be seen. It has to be seen.
That's my prized possession right there.
Yeah, but that is going to just about do it for this one. We want to thank you guys as always for watching. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys have not already. And turn on those post notifications so you guys are notified each and every time we are live here at ESB, which is every single morning, anywhere between 10 and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Earle Sports Bet Show. That's going to just about do it for this one. I want to thank you guys as always for watching. Good luck today.
Let's cash.